Yeah, I did it, but it ain't just me, it's the whole team. Share it with the whole team. Congratulate the whole team. Cause when you riding like we riding with each other, ain't no I in this, it's the whole team. Share it with the whole team. Congratulate the whole team. Cause when you riding like we riding with each other, ain't no I in this. See, we came up from the bottom, me and squad got it. And we made it through them problems, now it's God body. We eat, sleep, breathe this, wave till they see sick. Do it right the first time, they all try to remix. Yeah, they grinded, but we grinded different. Tell them they time is ticking, but we time a fish. Bet not leave a minute, stop it. Something like the goat off in that pocket. Whole squizzy riding with me, who gon' stop it? My day ones had to dance at the beginning. So you know it's only right, that's how we end. Came all the way from losing to winning. Yeah, I did it, but it ain't just me, it's the whole team. Share it with the whole team. Congratulate the whole team. Cause when you riding like we riding with each other, ain't no I in this, it's the whole team. Share it with the whole team. Congratulate the whole team. Cause when you riding like we riding with each other, ain't no I in this.
Yeah. You're in the presence of the realest essence. I've been serving lessons since the days of my adolescence. On the Cypress block, young buck holding it like we knew it all. Not afraid to do it all. Matter of fact, I look back and do it all. I can remember the haters say the game will ruin y'all. What's that to me? Don't give about a hater. Let them like the in my paper.
They call me Big Dog, riding with the hillbilly. Q-Bone stallion with the lick. Really became a boss many years back. When I'm gone, can be pull your tears back. We put the bang and produce. You got no chance of hanging. They take the tails when you're flipping the quarter. We ain't slowing down, we crashing through the border.
So let the rhythm hit him, just let the rhythm hit him. Cause when you feel it in your soul, lift the sound system. Let's turn it up a little louder, turn it up a little louder, turn it up. We never turn it down, universal sound. When we move the pound, take a look around. When we touch the town, not the way, stomping in my big black J's. Corny, get stuck in the maze. We never suffer fools, had enough of you. False friends and loose ends make me wanna fool. That we got another world tour, touching every shore, from Cali to Singapore.
Every day I'm seeing more in the temple as we rock up tempo instrumentals. I saw my dream in a dream, then I woke up. Put the dream team together, now we one time.
So let the rhythm hit him, just let the rhythm hit him. Cause when you feel it in your soul, lift the sound system. Let's turn it up a little louder, turn it up a little louder, turn it up.
Y'all calling me crazy. y'all can SEE. Cause I need your eyes on me. Once I get my feet in this end zone, no one can STOP. Can I make a scene like a movie, feeling big, keep it juicy before we start getting unruly. I've been hooping like a hoolie, keep it coolie before I stuff you in a locker like a bully. Like a bully. Put in the work, you can see my fingernail dirt. I'm the last one to leave, even when I come first. And you might want it bad, but I'm sure I want it worse. I'ma do it cause I love it, I'ma love it till it hurts. What's the worst that can happen, Captain? I'm strapped in, no I'm not crazy, I'm just tapped in. Hungry like I'm fasting, I'm about that action, no slacking. Well I'm sorry, Miss Jackson, cause here come the pain. No one to call up for help, no one to blame but yourself. You should've known better, however you did it, so we had to come ring your
We are just a stone's throw away from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as we get set for football at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. Today, no waiting around. We jump right into an AFC North battle in Week 1 between the Baltimore Ravens and the Cleveland Browns. Justin Tucker set to boom this one away. And off we go from Cleveland. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A big run there, 29 yards and a first.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 46. Faking the give, now Watson. Throw left side, caught by the tight end, Njoku. 2nd and 11. They'll fake the handoff, now Watson. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
Well, that was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them. And I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Watson. He's got his tight end, David Njoku. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens 30. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17.
Well, on 3rd down, he wanted to go to one of his most dependable targets, and that's who he found, his tight end there, to pick up the first, Charles.
And you use the proper word there, dependable, and sometimes spectacular, because tight ends nowadays, they can do it all. But they're the guys you trust, especially across the middle of the field where there's traffic. He delivers, and they pick up nice yardage.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Back to the ground. This time it's Chubb. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
They run again on 1st down, Chubb. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. 50 yards rushing for him now. What a drive for him to kick off the new season.
They've taken this opening kickoff and marched it right down the field defensively. Not much resistance.
And that's the point, because my admiration is for the guys moving the ball right now. They know what they're doing. Their plan is working. But I flip it over and watch and say, okay, what are you going to do to change things up? Because if you don't, they're going to put that ball in the end zone real soon. Here's where we need to see some tenacity from this defense, because they've been pushed right down the field on this opening drive. They've got to find some way to push back, and that's a good first step.
2nd and goal from the 1.
Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go.
Chubb is in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Well, first quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
Extra point by York is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. Pulls it in at the 13. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. A collegiate star here in the Buckeye State, it's J.K. Dobbins. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down. Well, CD, a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react. That felt like a trap, because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Another run here with Dobbins. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
From midfield now, here's Jackson. That ball caught. It's Mark Andrews, the tight end. And they're going to have another 1st down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 30. Nice 3rd down conversion and even 20 yards.
Well, partner, that's the start that you want right there. And you know he spent the entire offseason throwing hundreds, I'd probably say thousands of passes, getting ready for that moment. The first throw of the new season. He's dreamed about it, thought about it, and now it's out of the way.
1 for 1, a lot more to go. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Here's the first carry for Kenyon Drake. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Throwing is Jackson. And that'll be taken in by Andrews for a Ravens touchdown. A 24-yard touchdown. And the Ravens are able to match the opening drive touchdown against them with one of their own. Tucker with the extra point, and we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Browns drive about to get started. And, Charles, nothing like squaring off with a division opponent, a division rival in Week 1. Do you like that they are matching up this early, or would you prefer a game like this be a few weeks down the road?
I actually like the early matchup for a few reasons, Brandon. First of all, it allows you to see that in the entire offseason and know, hey, right out of the gate, we're playing a division game. Second part is it spreads them out a little bit. If you just have them all bunched up at the end of the year, that's not as much fun watching teams try to survive that gauntlet when you do have injuries down the stretch. And last but not least, let's face it, we're TV people. What a great game to sell right out of the gate.
These two teams all tied after one. On first down, it's Watson. Right back to Njoku. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone. 66 yards rushing for him in this first half as he is looking in mid-season form here in the opener. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurtling through them.
And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Linebacker Patrick Queen bringing him down. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
A 2nd and 7 with our score tied at 7, but they're planning to change that soon. Only question, will they get 3 or 6 out of it? Able to get away, but in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. I think a lot of time when we see a sack, you say, well, you blame it on the offensive line, the quarterback, but here, maybe you just tip your hat to the defender. What a play.
Yeah, and I think sometimes they just get a sense of the play before the ball's even snapped. Kind of like a sprinter anticipating the gun in a race. They're off, and guess what? The quarterback's down.
Throwing on third down, Watson. And that is taken in by Njoku. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And that could be one of those turning point plays in a ball game. A field goal gets you the lead here, but they want to make a statement and get 6 points. And they're certainly going to get that opportunity as they get the conversion and set up 1st and goal.
Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. And they've got 3 tight ends here on 1st and goal to add some extra mass. They'll run with Chubb. And he takes this one in for a Brown score. Nick Chubb, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Browns have taken the lead. So his strong first half continues as he finds the end zone here for the second time.
And definitely good blocking at the point of attack, and you just have to love watching the way he can create space down near the goal line, and he's able to take it into the end zone.
Extra point by York is up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Perfect start to the season on their first drive last time out, able to find the end zone. Now we'll see if they can make it 2 for 2 here in week 1. The linebacker, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, on the tackle.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now Jackson. Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. And the Browns are going to take possession of the football. And that's a ball that he is going to want to keep, his first career interception in the National Football League.
And I love what teams do when that happens. You bring the ball to the sideline, the equipment guy grabs it, he puts a piece of tape on it, writes on it so that you know what it is, and then they tuck it away so that you can have it for later and put it on your mantle. Pretty good deal for him right there. Now he's eager to get back out on the field and get his second one.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
And that's exactly what offenses try to avoid by using motion and throwing different formations up. They hate when he can draw a bead on the play, get a running start, and make a big play behind the line of scrimmage as he did just there.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Ravens are going to take over at their own 2-yard line. He exited the pocket trying to improvise. That was a tough throw, and unfortunately, it wound up in the wrong pair of hands.
And, Brandon, when you're on the run, sometimes your downfield vision can get skewed just a bit. Now, the beauty of extending a play is sometimes your receivers find their way open, but oftentimes you end up closing down part of the field and bringing those defenders to the ball, and that one was picked off.
Safety Grant Delpit up to make the play.
Well, not a game that you're going to go crazy about, but when you start at your own 2-yard line, any type of space is good for the offensive guys.
Yeah, you just can't go backwards from here. They did it. Now we'll see if they can keep it on schedule here on 2nd down. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Jackson now down around his goal line. And he is not going to get away. The rush was too strong, and this is going to wind up a safety.
The goal here is about getting any kind of positive yardage in this spot because you don't care who, you don't care how. You just want to try and buy a little space and get away from your own end zone. But in this spot, the defense was all over that play and equally motivated to stick them with a safety.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to want to look to hit a couple shorter passes and get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
Off of play action, it's Watson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. Second straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily, but I also wonder if it's going to unnerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one, or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
Pretty nice work defensively there on the first down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. From the gun, Jackson. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play, and guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Here's Jackson. They set up the screen for Dobbins. And he is going to lose yardage here. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop him with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter. A couple of plays sent them the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14. Jackson. And that will be incomplete. Oh, he left that one in a bad spot, but fortunately it's just an incompletion and not picked to bring up 4th down. Tucker's kick is good. And the deficit trimmed to 6 now at 16-10. So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they have the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, you know, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
The Browns' drive about to get started. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And it'll be incomplete. Good job staying with him defensively, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
The offense schemed going 5 wide, trying to create a chance for the big shot, and they took it. If he comes down with that one, that's a huge offensive swing. But credit the defense with a nice play, knocking that one away.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Watson. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. Well, Charles, you know, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, we'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the 2nd half. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble and bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
As they begin their second half here, Charles, offensively, not where they want to be, obviously. They're losing in this ball game, but very much within striking distance. We'll see what adjustments they make in the second half.
Is that the old glass half full, half empty type of a deal? Which way do you want to look at it? Because you're right, they're down on the scoreboard, but there are definitely opportunities now, because if they want to go ahead and get going in this one, get back to the running game. I think there are going to be some places to go with it, and I think the offensive line will appreciate the chance to fire out and hit people.
That's a good point, because they virtually had nothing going in the ground game in that first half.
And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's in. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
This one incomplete. Almost picked off by the rookie, but he couldn't quite look it in. And now it's 4th down.
So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. He's going to let this one go deep. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. John Johnson with the INT. And the Ravens are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. They'll go left side on the ground with Chubb.
Taken down at the 42.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now Watson. He's got Njoku, his big tight end.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
He takes this for about 6 down inside the 40.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game without just a 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
2nd and 4.
Up the middle, it's Chubb. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he's going to have the 1st down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They run it again with Chubb. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And he's going to be down close to a 1st down at the Ravens 21.
So that time they got the left guard with a hold.
And let's face it, in today's ball, you might have that 330-pound guy you're supposed to clear out of there. You might need a little bit of extra help by grabbing the jersey and trying to ride him out.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
Set the tone, defense. Let's go. Hey, check Mike 6.
Here's Watson. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So turnovers, Charles, you figure will be key in the second half, and that's a big giveaway there.
Yeah, and as you and I both know, coaches are always preaching ball security, and none more often than right here in the second half of a tight football game. Now you've got to believe what the coaches are saying and take care of that football.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And not much there at all. He's up only to about the 16-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson. Throwing quickly for Mark Andrews. And he'll wind up getting this to the 32. A play that started at the 16, and that's how many yards they get. First down.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Now it's 2nd and 9. Now it's Jackson. It's complete to Langford. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Now it's Jackson. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. It's J.O.K. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah in there for the sack.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. They'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
4th down, here's Jackson. And that one incomplete. They try to sneak in a deep ball with the clock running down, but to no avail as time will expire on this 3rd quarter of play. Just week one, but already plenty of intrigue with the games going on, and this one no different as we come up on a 1st and 10. And Chubb will try the middle here. They find some open field here. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. 122 yards rushing for him now as he goes over the century mark here in the season opener. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Ball at the 6 here as they work with a 2nd and 2.
And again, it's Chubb. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. They'll give it to Chubb, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns.
And the Browns are closing in on a winning start to the year as they extend their 4th quarter lead.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Here's Chubb to try to run it in. And he got it on the touchdown run, but he won't get in here. He'll be stopped short, and they'll come up empty on the try for 2. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
Well, that last touchdown we just saw, what an important one. Now it's back to a 2-score deficit for this crew as they take the field here, and they are in desperate need of finding the end zone. Well, that's where this Cleveland crowd, the dog pound in particular, make it difficult on opposing offenses. It looked like they might have had troubles communicating at the line, and it leads to the incompletion.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Jackson. He'll find Schwartz complete right side.
That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
Third and 2. Here's Jackson. Steps away. And now he'll let this one go deep. Back over the middle. He's got a man. Complete.
And he'll be brought down at the 27.
Get me. Let's go.
Well, he reminded us that he was a 1,000-yard receiver a year ago as he starts off week 1 picking up right where he left off. He told us at the end of the preseason he was primed for a big year. He just gave us excellent evidence of his belief.
Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Well, certainly those are the types of mistakes they're trying to avoid as they attempt to protect this lead late in the game.
And let's face it, they're hoping that this one doesn't cost them in a significant way. Yeah, one guy committed a penalty, but now the entire defense has to pay the price and try and rise up and overcome it.
They'll run up the gut with Dobbins.
And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
9-yard line, 2nd and 6.
He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a 3rd down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing a shotgun, and they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 4. This time Jackson will throw it, and that'll be taken in by Andrews for a Ravens touchdown. A great play there. Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Ravens have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. 1st down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. And some room to work. There he goes left side. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb, 78 yards. And the Browns use the big play to extend their 4th quarter lead. Extra point by York is up and good. And it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the 4th quarter. This drive becomes very critical. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle him inbounds. Okay.
All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play because they've got to have something bigger downfield. They can't just take what they give them. They've got to force it and make something big happen for them.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he will step out of bounds here inside the 30. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 42 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Jackson now. Buying time to his left. Looking left sideline, incomplete.
Well, you know me, whether you need it or not, I'm going to give a little unsolicited advice. Just throw it downfield out of the pocket, only if you're absolutely sure. Otherwise, use your running ability and try and get those yards a safer way.
To throw again on 2nd down. Jackson, it's caught. Here's Langford. And they're going to have another 1st down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 13-yard line. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. And now defensively they're going to burn their 1st timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. On On 2nd and 15 now. Jackson. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Picked off by John Johnson. And the Ravens are right back in this football game. So they'll accept that penalty, and that'll, of course, move the football up the field. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. They'll try and wind down some clock with Chubb. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. And now here comes the third of their timeouts defensively. So they'll be left with only the 2-minute warning to stop it from here on out. Second down, here's Chubb again. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 20. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down.
I know we can't hear what's going on in that huddle right now, but I'll guarantee you at least one offensive lineman is saying, my bad, we simply couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage. We've got to do a better job trying to root those guys out of there.
A give running right is Chubb. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
But now they're in a spot that every team tells us when we have our production meetings they don't want to be in 3rd and long. And that's because those back-to-back running plays just didn't accomplish a whole lot.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. On 3rd down, it's Nick Chubb. And he's going to have a Browns first down as the tackle made at the 35-yard line. Altogether, a pretty shaky start to the year for this defense as they defend another 1st and 10. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Chubb will get the call running left. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe. Well, this was not just the opener of a brand new season, but this was a division game here in week 1. And to come through with a 1-0 start against a division opponent gives you a little something extra heading forward for the rest of the season.
Yeah, let's pile it all into one game, right? Opening the season, and you open within the division. You knew the motivation was going to be there on both sidelines. One just executed better and earned the win.
So for the Browns, that'll be a happy locker room as they start this season 1-0. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Chicago Bears. Meanwhile, for the Ravens...